Hello, I'm Mariannette Miller-Meeks, and I'm running for Congress in Iowa's 2nd District. I recently resigned from the Department of Public Health in order to run for this seat. And you may ask, why would anyone want to resign from a nice job in the Department of Public Health or as a job as a physician and not go back into medicine? And really, it comes down to something Will Rogers said a long time ago. And he said, when people are stressed and when they're anxious, people care to know that you care before they care to know what you know. And as I visited our local public health agencies throughout our state, and I visited with people in my hometown of Ottumwa, I found people were really concerned about the burdens, the administrative burdens, compliance with regulations. It was hurting our small businesses. It was hurting people who worked in business. It was hurting our public health agencies and our nonprofits who were trying to help people within their communities. And constantly they would talk about the healthcare reform that was a bad bill and how it was affecting them, hiring people, growing, expanding a business, or offering care to people. They would talk about the fact that take-home pay wasn't keeping up with the price of inflation. And often they were frustrated that government wasn't working for them and didn't seem to be accountable for its actions. And most of all, they were asking who's going to stand up for the little guy. Now, I care about the little guy a lot. And I want to let you know why I'm passionate about the little guy. I'm the 4th of 8 children. My father had finished high school and joined the Air Force. My mom, well, she finished 8th grade. And of those 8 kids, no one had gone to college, and my parents hadn't gone to college. And at 15, I suffered burns on my arms and my legs, 2nd and 3rd degree burns. And while I was hospitalized, I had this wonderful physical therapist who really inspired me to want to be a doctor. So after that long hospitalization, I came home and I told my parents that I wanted to be a doctor. Now you need to understand that when I did my aptitude test in middle school and junior high, that my aptitude was to be a bricklayer. So being a doctor was a far cry from being a bricklayer. But I also had parents that had not gone to college and older siblings that hadn't gone to college. They finished high school and joined the military, and my older sister wanted to get married and have kids. So it was a challenge for my parents to figure out how not to dissuade me, but how to encourage me, and they really didn't know how to do that. So I left home at 16, trying to get away from some of the negativity, which they thought was just realism and pragmatic thought. I left home at 16, got a job, enlisted in the Army at age 18. I started community college, San Antonio Junior College at 16, and I was able to work myself through community college, get a degree in nursing, go from enlisted in the Army all the way to retiring as a lieutenant colonel in the Army Reserves after 24 years. And I was able to get a master's in education and go to medical school. And then I had the great privilege of coming to Iowa to do my residency in ophthalmology. And that was a long course and it was a struggle, but it's not unusual for people to have done that at all. And along the way, in the course of your lifetime, you have people who champion you. One of those champions for me was Lieutenant Colonel Angeles Phillips. Colonel Phillips was from Puerto Rico. And Colonel Phillips knew that I was trying to go to medical school. So when I was a newly promoted captain stationed at Darnell Army Hospital, Colonel Phillips arranged all of our call schedule so that I could drive one way 70 miles from Fort Hood, Texas to Austin, Texas to take a physics course. She believed in me, and her belief in me inspired me to work doubly hard to prove to her that I was meriting and I was worth her belief in me. And I'll never forget the day that I started medical school in San Antonio, Texas, and my parents were with me on the day of orientation. I could tell by my father's smile and the light in his eyes that that was the first time that my father truly believed in the American dream. Because up to that point in time, he just thought the system wasn't going to allow an enlisted man's daughter and a poor man's daughter to go to medical school. He really never believed in it, and he didn't champion me the way that Colonel Phillips had championed me. And we all need that champion. So for me, it's a natural thing to want to champion the little guy, to want to see that all of us have a fair shot, and that government allows us to have a level playing field. So when they enact bad bills like the Affordable Care Act that hurts the little guy, that hurts small business, that causes people to lose their health insurance, and causes premiums to increase, and cuts spending for Medicare so that home care is deprived for seniors, and that we have increase in generic drug prices, I'm passionate about that and want to change that. And when I see that increasing take-home pay is not happening throughout our nation, and we have the slowest job growth and even negative growth earlier in this year, and it's not keeping pace with the price of gasoline or food or a gallon of milk, I'm passionate about doing the things that our governor has done in the great state of Iowa to help move our economy forward. And when I see that government has an expanding safety net but doesn't hold itself accountable, I know that there's something that I want to do about that. There's a response to health care, and it's not a bad bill that's partisan, where only one party supports. We can all be winners when it comes to the most intimate decisions in our life, and health care, most importantly, needs to be affordable. It needs to be personal, where you make the choices for what you want in your health care plan, and you need to be able to take it wherever you go. It needs to be portable. Increasing take-home pay. We've had great economic policies in Iowa that our governor has put in place when it comes to trade, skills training, pro-growth tax policies, and when it comes to looking at over-regulation and overzealous regulation that hurts all businesses and in fact hurts the little guy the most. We know that we can put Iowa in DC, and we can alter the climate so that we have continuing job growth, an expanding tax base, and more revenue to our treasury. And that safety net, well, I told you I'm one of 8 kids and I'm the 4th. I'd like to say that all my brothers and sisters went to medical school or started a business or became higher ranking in the military, but that's just not the case. Some of us have really fallen on hard times, and when the safety net becomes so expansive, it becomes frayed, and those holes become bigger, and people fall into the holes and they never get out. Safety nets need to be transformed to trampolines so that people never hit bottom, but they're boosted and propelled upward. So we really have a chance for our government to champion us as the little guy. We have a chance this year to elect a woman to Congress who is a doctor, a military veteran, and is really having a proven record of solving problems. We have a chance this year to put people over politics and to put common sense over nonsense and to inspire us to aspire to be better than we are. We are a great nation of great people, and we deserve what John F. Kennedy said decades ago. Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. Let's elect Dr. Mariannette Miller-Meeks this year to Congress, because we need a doctor, a military veteran, and a problem solver to be our champion, as Colonel Phillips was the champion for me. Thank you so much. You can vote early now through November 4th. I ask for your vote and your support. Thank you very much.